Okay, people, so we're here. We're gonna be working down here today, and we're gonna paint. And yeah, we're gonna start.
Nana took a detour.
Yep. And then that's just sweeping right now.
No, not sleeping, sweeping. Right? I have these big buckets of paint. Show them. So much for the X Club. I'm working on it. Andre's going to start with this. Obviously, I'm going to get it ready. Okay, you can turn it off.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's August 17th. Right? I think Uncle John's birthday. Anyway, you can see what's happening here. Right? They got another update coming. Okay, in another few more minutes. Another 8 minutes and 35 seconds. Okay, so there's the first one. Right? They have absolutely no right to lie to us, people. Absolutely none. As they're blaming the young people for false statistics. Okay? Because they have some sort of weird agenda. Okay? That isn't in the benefit of society as a whole. When it comes to the human race. Okay? So there's that page. Right? You can see what's going on. Now, normally, what you would expect when the live to come in would be in front of this. Now, a week has gone by, right? Today's Monday, right? Yeah, it's a Monday. So, let's just assume that whatever they do today, on the 17th, because this one here, people, is 9 days in the past. It's not 3 days in the past. It's 9 days. This should read 9 days ago. Okay, this was a pre-recorded live stream. Just remember that. Alright, so when this one kicks in, it should automatically, people, come in the front, and this one should be pushed back. Everything should be pushed back, and the new live should come in the front. Now, they changed their code so that would happen at some point, but not right away. Okay. So anyway, we got another one, and another one. Okay, we've got that one there. Alright, now I got 3 grids here. Do you see this? 1, 2, 3. Because the last time I did this, instead of coming up in here, right, it came down here. That's why I didn't notice it. Okay? It came in, it snuck itself in next to August 6th. And it was right here, people. Versus being up here. And then it jumped to the front. Okay? Because it was done on August 6th. This one. Alright? It was a pre-recorded, back-to-back, falsified live stream that was put on the shelf for 6 days until they restreamed it. Okay? That's where we're at with this. So, let's just hope that this is a real, legitimate live stream. Hold on. Okay, so we don't got much time to wait here. Oh, there you go. So now it's... Okay, you can hear it. You can see what's going on. Right? It just turned on. So we'll go to page 4. And now we need to find it. So what we do is refresh. Okay. It will come in. Sooner or later, it has to come in. We just have to figure out where it's coming in. And don't forget, my eyesight is bad. Okay? So I don't get to see everything exactly as it comes in. Right? Like I said before, I didn't expect for it to come in on the second grid. Alright. Now YouTube may have done something with their code. Now I'm not doing anything wrong, people. Okay? I'm not the one that uses taxpayers' dollars to lie to the public, body snatch bodies, the whole 9 yards. Okay? Right? I don't do that stuff. Even if I had money, I wouldn't do that stuff. If I had money, people, I would actually help people. Right? Like, if I had any substantial amount of money, that is. Right? There it is. There it is, people. Do you see how it came in on the second grid? So, if you look here, this was done 1 week ago. 1 week ago. Okay, this tells you right now. This was done 6 days ago. This was done 1 week ago. So this was either done 6 days ago or 7 days ago. Okay, 1 week ago could mean anything. Could mean 7 days, 8 days. I'd have to go and I think I got this one. Okay, I think this one's late, behind on the scene too. But do you see that? There it is right there, people. It speaks for itself. Okay, this is a pre-recorded fake live stream that was done 1 week ago. And what's the date today? What's the date today, people? Today is August 17th. Wow. Wow. It's August 17th, people. And they're putting out a pre-recorded live stream with statistics that are supposed to be up to date to August 17th. You can see it right there. Okay? I am not doing anything wrong, people. This is not me. Okay? Just because somebody abuses you doesn't mean you have to stay quiet and take the abuse. Okay? This is another form of abuse. This is psychological warfare. Okay? This is fraud, breach of trust, false pretense, conspiracy, as listed under the Criminal Code of Canada. I can't stress it enough. And those are just the 4 things that are on the top of my head in terms of what's listed as criminal activity under the Criminal Code of Canada. You can see it right there for yourself in black and white, okay? 1 week ago, 6 days ago. Now they're going to take this and they're going to jump it to the front because they don't want people to know that they are lying. Like, this upsets me so much. Okay, there it is right there. It's not showing here right now, people. Okay, this is the 3rd page. Okay, 1, 2, 3, but you go on to the 4th page. All right. There it is right there. There it is right there. Okay? Right next to toxic drugs circulating. Fucking right, they're circulating because they want those dead bodies. Just as much as they're lying about this shit, they're lying about this shit, people. This is like people being abused by an abusive partner and they're expected to stay quiet so the abusive partner can keep abusing them. This is no different. Just because they're a government doesn't give them immunity to commit fucking fraud. Okay? This is fraud because they're going to come in here with their fake statistics saying, oh, well, we don't know how many people have died since the last time they did a live stream, which was on the 13th. But this one is 9 days in advance, people, because they did it back to back with this one. There it is right there. You can see it. 2 grids down. Grid 1, grid 2. There it is. Right there. Right next to this one. Go to the next page. You're not going to see it here. Let's see what happens if I refresh this page. Where's it going to pop up? Is it going to pop up in the front, or is it still going to be connected to August 10th? There. Do you see how they moved it to the fucking front? Do you see that? Do you see that, people? But we got it. Okay? We got it already. We got it. It doesn't matter. They've been caught again. It's August 17th, Uncle John's birthday. He was born in 1938. What the hell did those people do for Uncle John? Nothing. Nothing. They terrorized him in his last years of his life. That's what they did so they could continue to fucking steal money from old people. Lock them up in these old folks' homes. Like their dirty secret, like they did with Uncle John, right? And then when they don't want them anymore, what do you think they're doing? They're coming out with this, oh, it's a pandemic, but, you can trust us. We're not lying. No. We're not the ones fucking lying here, which is a bunch of crock, okay? A bunch of freaking crock. Oh, there he is. What has he got to say?
Information. And with that, it's my honor, as you know, from the beginning of, or the middle of January on, Dr. Bonnie Henry, our provincial health officer.
Like, where are the real people here?
And she's, of course, done an extraordinary job. But
extraordinary job.
An extraordinary team. Truly.
How can that be an extraordinary job, people?
Really, 7 days a week.
Sorcery, Satanism, witchcraft, right? Magic, anything to fucking derail you and fool you and keep you in the dark,
compassionate
right?
People. And
as they continue to abuse you.
People, Dr. Gustafson.
Do you see this?
Honored, as I always am, to introduce Dr. Bonnie Henry. Honored to.
There's August 10th, right?
Who represents.
But it's right next to 1 week ago. Doesn't matter. August 10th was 6 days ago, but that's not true because August 10th was back to back with August 6th.
Dr. Gustafson.
Like, this is all getting to be old news.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dix. Good afternoon, everybody.
Right?
Again, I am
Dr.
Rachel Gustafson. I'm the Deputy Provincial Health Officer and the Vice President for Public Health of the Provincial Health Service.
Their live stream is running freaking slow here. It's not even correct.
Side with the medical health officers and frontline public health workers, as well as Dr. Bonnie Henry.
Because it's a fake live stream, that's why.
Response, and I will be providing the public health updates this week.
So this person is lying.
So as always, we start with the case updates.
As usual.
And today we are reporting on 3 periods. From Friday to Saturday, we had 100 cases of COVID-19 in British Columbia. Saturday to Sunday, 88
Are you listening
cases,
to this?
And Sunday to today, 48 cases.
Not true, people.
For a total of 236 new cases or diagnoses of COVID-19 in BC, bringing the total for British Columbia since the beginning of the pandemic to 4,594 cases.
Not true.
The distribution of these cases by health authority are
look where the live came in.
Cases in Vancouver Coastal Health, 2,425 cases
until they switched it to the front to trick you.
4 cases on Vancouver Island, 405 in the Interior Health
Who
Authority.
Who is this person?
And 117 in Northern Health Authority.
Whoever she is, she's lying.
Cases were from outside of Canada.
Okay.
Currently in British Columbia, we have 743 active COVID-19, of whom 4 are in hospital today.
How would they know that when it was done 6-7 days ago?
286 people in British Columbia are currently.
How would they know, people? Okay? How would they know how many infections in the last 2 days have occurred when this live stream was done 7 to 6 days ago or more? Okay? They don't know because it was pre-recorded and pre-written by a ghostwriter. Right? Like, I'm wondering where these real people are with their funky eyes. Have they been replaced by with something in terms of they were sleeping one night and somebody hijacked their bodies and did something to them and put them back into bed and they're like little mini robots now that just do live streams back to back to back to back to back once a week or once every 2 weeks and then go back into their freaking rechargeable portable and just wait until they're needed again in order to perpetrate some funky shit that's not even real? And nobody wants to talk about it on the internet. Like, seriously. Now, we can listen to this. For what, though? For what? None of it's real. None of it's real. It's not any more real than these so-called individuals are.
For anyone who may have attended the It Is Time Canada event in Deadwood, Alberta, from
They're
July
just targeting people
to August the 2nd.
with
if
lies.
you attended the event, you're asked to self-isolate for 14 days and monitor for symptoms. Seek care should you develop any of those symptoms. And wherever you live in British Columbia, please check regularly the health authority websites and follow guidance of public health teams should you have been in a place where there is
this person?
a public exposure of COVID-19 reported. So what do all these numbers mean for British Columbia today? We do have an increasing number of cases of COVID-19 in British Columbia, and the majority of new infections in BC at this time are among young adults.
I just did a video on that.
That we have done.
People, I just did a video on that, okay? I'll put that first with this when I upload this, okay? We've got major news medias seriously using subliminal messages to target minority women in red dresses with afros, right? You know? So that with a devil face with fucking lizard eyes when they go through their transition. Now, normally when people watch this kind of stuff, they're not paying attention because their conscious mind isn't thinking about it, right? But it goes into the subconscious, and this is what I'm trying to say. They're targeting minority women, okay? There's an underclass, an undercurrent of something, of beings that are drawing on the negative energy that these so-called individuals are spreading out among the province in terms of 5.1 million people, 5.2 million people, right? You know, in terms of heightening that fear, because they're feeding off of the fear, right? And that's why they're bringing in the new excuse that the young people are going to the clubs downtown, okay? And because they're not letting them in like they used to, right? They're not getting in, so versus going home, because they don't want to go home. They're just young people. They're partying out on the streets. And of course, whoever wrote this fake pre-recorded live stream, they know this is going to happen. So they take that opportunity, right, to, oh, well, now it's young people coming down with, COVID. Never mind, we're shooting energy weapons at them, but we just won't tell them, right? You know, there's other ways to make people sick, people, okay? It doesn't have to be COVID, especially when they're doing their pre-recorded live streams up to 1 week in advance, which could mean 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. I don't know, they're not going to put down 10 days ago. They'll just round it off to 1 week. You know, it's shy of 1 day from 6 days ago. The point is, right, they're targeting the young people, right? And whoever is doing this has like a mini force of, I don't want to call them soldiers, like, you know, super soldiers, right? You know, something that's been altered in a lab to make them faster, smarter, stronger, thirstier for blood. Who knows what they're splicing them with in terms of genetic engineering, okay? Like, I think we're in that position now, and this is why we're getting these fake pre-recorded live streams, because it's like, I don't want to say a cyborg kind of situation, but more like a beehive situation where the news media is participating directly in this, and I am not committing a crime by talking about it, because I'm not going to sit here and be an abused woman by a bunch of individuals, right, that have absolutely zero respect for my family, for my grandchildren, for my children, for Uncle John, for anyone like Uncle John, for anyone that's actually a good person. They have absolutely zero respect, right? So I'm going to speak out on it, people. I'm going to speak out on it, okay? Because what they're doing warrants going to jail. Seriously, they need to be fired, and some of them need to go to jail for facilitating this fraud under the Criminal Code of Canada, as they're purposely using news medias, more than one outlet, to target minority youth. It's enough that there's 1,500 plus more of young people basically dying from their toxic drugs. Okay? Right? But it's going to be, you know, now it's just like, it's. I told you before in one of my past videos, this is like a purge, okay? The way the cops dealt with Ciera and that situation made me think of a purge, okay? I went to court, people, right? It was almost like the judge was trying to get permission from me to do what they fucking did. Because now that I sit back and I think about it, you know, I'm like, you know, well, can you take her, Miss Chorney? No, I can't have her at home, Your Honor, right? I've tried to help my daughter on several I got her a fucking house. She's been in the basement, this, that, everything else under the sun. I just can't house her. You have to help me find housing for my daughter. I pleaded with the judge to help me find housing for Ciera. But what did the judge do? The judge said, oh, okay, well, we'll just talk to the probation officer and we'll get the probation officer to hook her up with Brady's house. Or Brandy's house, some Brady or Brandon, some kind of house like that. So in my mind, I walk away thinking they're going to put her in a recovery center, people. That's what I was thinking. That I actually had a good judge that was going to try and help me with a bad situation when it came to my daughter. But that's not where they had planned to put her, people. Their Brady house was a fucking tomb. Okay? This is the same shit. We're in a purge. When you've got your government purposely lying week after week, month after month with fake pre-recorded live streams, right? With false statistics. As they're blaming the young people for being out in the streets because the businesses are turning them away. As these so-called individuals are using fucking androids. And if they're not androids, they act and look like an android to put the propaganda out there. As the news media is using transitions in between videos that clearly, subliminally brings in the fucking image of a devil, as they've got a cell phone image of a vulnerable young woman where it says, follow, send a message. What do you think the message is? When we're dealing with this in real time, when it comes to fake pre-recorded live streams. Let me just beat you some more, right? And maybe you'll learn to stay quiet. Because that's what they're doing. They're just beating people in a different kind of way, all right? But just because you're being beat, people, doesn't mean you have to stay quiet and keep taking it. I told you, I'm going to keep doing these fucking videos. I am. And when I go to fucking court, I'm going to give it to David Eby, right? I don't know, is he the Solicitor General or the Attorney General? Solicitor Attorney General. Which one is he? But you know what? He'll probably be like them. Because so far, everyone that I've looked at in terms of their eyes and all this shit have the same issues, okay? And if they're just coming into the game, you know, like seriously, I think some of these human beings are being hijacked and are being forced to be chipped or implanted with something because there's a period of time, right? When you look at their faces, it's almost like they're in pain, people. You know, that Dr. Henry Bonney, at one point, she looked like she was in pain. The cop that came with for Ciera, same fucking look. Harry Baines. Even Harry Baines doesn't look very good. Right? So, because where are these people? How can they only go to bed every night knowing that they're doing fake pre-recorded live streams, right? Back to back to back to back to back, reading ghost-written fucking statistics, knowing that it's not going to be restreamed for at least a week. How can these individuals go to bed knowing this and think it's okay? What gives these people the right to do this and think it's okay as they blame the young people, right? With their propaganda to boot. As they, again, are targeting the minorities. They're not targeting the blondes bouncing around in the video. Hell no. They're targeting the little minority girl with the red dress on that kind of looks like she has a fucking afro. Right? With devil eyes in between the transition. Right? To me, that's like a fucking purge in terms of what's walking among us. And that's why we have 1,500 people plus young people dying every year, right? Like clockwork with the fentanyl crisis. And that's just with the fentanyl as the RCMP and the BC Coroner's Service cover it up. And judges are sending vulnerable, sick women after they've been used up and there's no use for them anymore to Brady's house 4 days after they get released from jail. And Brady's house is what? A grave. Now I turn this, yeah, you see it's not, there you go. You know it's off, right? You know. You just know.
To date, a relatively
We
good
already
job
see it.
of protecting the most vulnerable. But we are also reporting some new outbreaks
right
in
there.
long-term care facilities, and that's a really
Right.
important reminder for us all that the risk to vulnerable citizens of British Columbia remains.
It's in the middle of 6 days and 1 week
Now,
ago.
what does this all mean for us
I'd have to
today?
go into
What
this
have you
one
learned about
and
COVID-19
see if I
since
did
the
this
start of
one.
the pandemic,
Right? And I'll
what
be
is it
able
that
to
we
tell
need to do
you
about it?
when exactly
What we do know
this
is that
one was done,
COVID-19,
because it sure in the hell
especially among young
isn't
and
being
healthy
done
individuals, not
on the
always,
17th.
can be and often is a relatively mild
Right.
infection. And,
This one
in
is
fact,
wrong.
the
This one
disease
is
can
behind.
spread with very mild symptoms or before symptoms appear at all. This is, again, particularly the case for young adults who
We'll refresh.
Shields, 76 million pairs of gloves,
There you go.
just over 5.6 million gowns, which is, needless to say, a lot. Today, I can tell you that over the past week,
What good is it going to
since my
do?
update last week on Tuesday,
The only
August
people it's
10th,
protecting,
yeah,
well,
until yesterday,
individuals.
We received the following: 24,403 and 95 are equivalent.
The only thing that is protecting are those individuals that like to hide behind masks and plexiglass so that nobody can really see what they look like. Right?
147,200 pairs of gloves and
Okay.
246,300
Let's face it.
gowns. As you will be aware, all of that material is being tested.
How long is this? This
to
23
ensure
minutes
that it is
already.
Safe and efficient product for the healthcare system. Just finally,
Healthcare system is dangerous, people.
everywhere,
It's just as
we
dangerous
do
as the
everywhere,
government.
Everything we need to do to stop the spread is at our fingertips, more so now than ever.
Stop the spread.
3 months ago.
Stop
And
lying.
yet there are those who tap into
Stop
the fact that we're all
lying.
tired,
That would stop
that
the
there's a
spread
new
right
normal
there
that doesn't hold a
in its
candle to what it
tracks.
once was, that we miss what we used to do and what we expected to do.
This is why I say I'm living in a fucking nightmare. Like, I've died, and I just don't know it. Because when you know this stuff, and there's nothing you can do about it, because the bigger YouTubers don't want to touch it. Why? Why? Because they're maybe one of those freaking synthetic holograms on YouTube that just, the little piper, you know, the paid off fucking whatever, you know, stay quiet and we'll give you, you know, $500,000 to put on these fake fucking, oh, I care about my community live streams as you talk about this or you talk about that, when in fact they don't give a shit because more than likely they're one of them. And if they're not one of them yet, they will be. And if they're not going to be that, then one day, you know, these individuals are going to turn on them and make them fucking dinner. And I don't mean sit down at the table and eat together as friends and family. I'm talking about they're the main course. Because none of this is normal. Right? Absolutely none. How dare they blame the young people for their lies? How dare they when it's the young people dying because of their lies? Huh? Think about it. How dare these people lie? As it's the young people who are dying because of their lies. It speaks for itself. The computer can only do what's written in the code. It can't lie. Computers don't lie. But people do. People lie. People who program computers lie. Okay, so when it came in, right, one grid down, 549 watching. When it jumped to the front, okay, it came in at 1.3. Okay, watching. And currently, we've got 2,240 people watching a straight-up lie. Okay, you see, they don't want people coming together in their private parties talking about the shit. You know, shooting the shit. So they're blaming private parties with people drinking, bringing that morality. They're trying to throw in the morality card, as if these individuals have anything to say about morality. Okay? There's nothing moral about them, right?
Hi. So yes, with respect to helping people comply with the guidance that we have given.
Remember, this was done a week ago.
Is that we're all
okay
together, and we have some.
Who is this person
that public health has provided based on the characteristics of COVID-19, knowing how it's transmitted, knowing that transmission can occur more easily indoors, and when you're in close proximity to people, and especially when you have symptoms or when you have been exposed to COVID-19.
It's called a blackberry bush.
Before your symptoms.
It's called morning glory.
These,
it's called histamines.
Many
plant histamines. It's called pollen.
Public health.
It's called sell the public shitty fucking cigarettes that came in from some freaking third world country after it was stomped on by a bunch of dirty feet, right? And then you wonder why people are getting sick, eh? Charge them out of their nose for garbage tobacco now, right? You just another means to, speed up the process for that purge.
To your place of work, your place of study. You will probably
just threw that in there, right?
You will need
everybody that I know that smokes can't stand the cigarettes that these so-called
institutions and services
regulators are providing to the general public in terms of tobacco products, right? They brought in dirty tobacco just as they brought in sit at home and smoke yourself to death.
That I serve the people that I serve, or I create.
She doesn't serve nobody.
To create.
No.
So at this time, we're 6 months into, or 9 months into this now.
Oh wow, 9 months, people.
Close to 9 months into this.
Yeah. Look at her gloating.
But
look at her smiling and smirking.
Absolutely.
Right.
Regulations and enforcement have a role, as Minister Dix has suggested and indicated. There's also a great deal of influencing and learning together and helping each other.
Learning together is coming out with the truth. That's your learning together, people, that they are negating to talk about.
Your age and doing the very best we can and learning as we go along. And I would like to speak a little bit about learning. One of the learnings we did was with respect to nightclubs and the types of regulations and recommendations that
criminalizing morality,
restaurants, and how those needed to be changed.
Yeah.
And that's a really important.
Expect the youth to go in a monkey tube and just lay down and don't move. Right? Just a bunch of monkeys.
Yeah, Mr. Dix, I appreciate your point there about
right. Well, we know that it's a whole lot of fake news when it comes to these news media, because this was restreamed. When I forgot. Jeez, I forgot. It's like a bad habit. But again, the computer doesn't lie, people. Hey, I'm so hot. I'm outside painting.
As you know, significantly more than we had been doing. So part of this is measuring public demand.
They're nice black pants, but not anymore. They're starting to be polka dot pants.
Facilities ready to take 5,000 tests if there are 2,000 people.
Technically, I don't have to wait for this stream to end now, people, because they changed the script, right? I've already explained that to you. in another video, right? They made it so that you don't have to refresh to find out when it was actually posted, blah, 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 okay? It's still coming up, though, because that's just the way the computer works. I'm sure, you know, like I said, government can spend $100,000 for a code writer, a whole fucking team, like a team of lawyers, you know? They can just throw money at them and say, find a way to make it so that we can run our pre-recorded fake live streams without people catching in on what we're doing here, right? In terms of make it so it, you know, we bypass where it's coming in, like I showed you today. Right, I would highly suspect that they're going to find a way to remove that. And because they can take taxpayers' dollars, people, money that they don't fucking own personally, and just swing it to YouTube and their staff, their code writers, right? You know, don't be surprised if what I showed you today doesn't get rewritten out, okay? Because they're trying to hide this. But I've been doing this since June, okay? Now, I was painting. But I came in to do this, right? Monday, new week. I don't want to believe what is in front of me in terms of what I'm doing and how I understand HTML code and what it does to create web pages and how things get embedded into web pages and how things get moved in those web pages, okay? It doesn't take a rocket science to understand that, right? In terms of just the basics around how a web page is written and then
and if and
interprets
when they develop symptoms, they are not exposing anybody else.
The host when they're
Thank you. Do you have a follow-up,
doing this
please?
crap.
No, that's good.
Okay, you know,
And our next question
Like,
comes
seriously.
from Amy Smart, Canadian Press. Amy, go ahead, please.
as this is going on,
Hi there. I'm just hoping you can
I just wonder,
confirm this for me.
you know what
I'm
it
getting
does,
some of the
people?
numbers.
It makes me wonder what these so-called individuals have in store for me when it's my time to die. Because already this is a form of torture. It's been a form of torture since 2003 with the BC Liberal government. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had issues in the past, having a hard life, doing whatever, you know, right? You know, being disappointed, trying to start companies, nothing worked, blah, blah, okay? But this, right, just is the icing on the cake. And when it comes my time to die, do you know what I think of? A whole bunch of these kind of individuals that have shed their skin and are standing around me in their true form, torturing the last breaths out of my human body. Okay? Because the shit that's been going on in my life for so long is so fucking morbid. What they did to Uncle John was morbid. What they did to Amari and how they played it off, knowing that he's injured for life and they don't give a shit, is morbid. Okay? Right? What they did to ShaMay was even more morbid. And then what they did to ShaMay was, Ciera, was nothing but a scandal that was morbid. Like, it's disgusting. Right? But I'm not going to be that abused woman that sits at home covering up my bruises to protect their morbidity in terms of being morbid. Their evilness, their dysfunction, their crookedness, their deceiving energy. I'm not going to stay quiet on it. So because I'm not staying quiet on it, all it does is make me wonder what they have in store for me under that purge when it's my time to die. Because that's what we're dealing with here. Right? I don't have to wait to find out the true date, because it already came up. I don't even know if this live stream is still on. It's irrelevant.
Time to time,
because it was done a week ago.
That everyone can see, and they are concerns.
And I have to put it.
Respond.
I have to put it up with the other videos that I've already done to pinpoint, because it could be more than 7 days ago. It could have been 9 days ago, right? YouTube's just rounding it off 1 week ago. It's not saying 7 days ago. It will say 6 days ago, 5 days ago, 4 days ago, but it doesn't say 10 days ago. It just says a week ago. I'll show you. So keep that in mind,
part of the focus,
right? Because that's how the code is written
right now, as we have in the past.
Do you see? 1 week ago, 1 week ago, 1 week ago.
Extraordinary steps to ensure that people.
Do you see how it goes 1 week ago? Now it's 2 weeks ago. They rounded it off. So this could have been 11 days ago versus 7 days ago. So do you see how they're mind trickery? Right? Do you see how they put out false illusions? Right? Misinformation? Right? To cover their tracks?
In terms of transmission.
Why? If you can post 4 days ago, 6 days ago, 3 days ago, why can't you post 9 days ago? Why does it have to be 2 weeks ago? 1 week or 2 weeks? Well, what happened to the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th? What happened to those days?
Yes, I would like to ask you an education question.
Because they don't want you to know, people.
The implementation
right? Anymore than they want you to know what's going on right now, right? Just easy to blame the youth. They did it to themselves, right? You know, they were depressed. They were locked up in their apartments, right? You know, we made sure that they could have some booze. We made sure that the fentanyl stays out in the streets. So when they kill themselves, we can just blame them for it. And then, you know, we can also say that they were being naughty and weren't following the rules. So they actually died from COVID because they happened to go to the bar, even though the bar didn't let them in, right? And they traveled 2 hours to get to the bar because the only bars that are open are in the downtown core because the government wants to keep, you know, all the money to themselves. I know how that fucking works, people. Trust me. Okay? I'm working on nonprofit for 20 fucking years. All right?
Data from around the world.
Right? I've had a lot of doors slammed in my face because I wasn't a white male that would play lip service to a bunch of fucking rhetoric, right? So that I, as a white male, could elevate myself as I stand in a fucking, what is it called? Phone image, subliminally targeting minority women. The majority of the cops that were with Ciera were white, if not all of them, people. Think about it. Okay, so we're going to listen to the last question here, and we're going to just refresh this last little page, and that's it, okay? Because we already know the truth, people. Okay? We already know the truth. Okay? Where is it? Where's that truth? Where is it? There it is. There's the truth, right there. Okay, you can see. Right? It's 2 down, right next to this. There's your truth. Just remember that.
The plan to wear masks in schools. A lot of people are concerned that within the so-called learning groups, the students won't have to wear masks. What are your thoughts on that?
I already told you, 60 scoop all over again.
Again, just to reiterate, I'm just so pleased to see the effort that we're all making together to get kids back into school. It's just so
That's called gaslighting.
With respect to masks,
gaslighting, people,
masks in general are quite low on the
just as fast as they reward you with a compliment, they will insult you, humiliate you, demoralize you,
the settings where usually during brief periods of
attack
time,
you.
The other control methods cannot be used. We know that children, again, are not very efficient transmitters of COVID-19, but we also know that you can limit the number, and they are at much lower risk of significant health outcomes from COVID-19 infection. We know that the most effective way of, of preventing COVID-19 is to make sure that you stay at home if you are sick. We know that we can add an important additional layer of protection by keeping our groups small, which is what the learning groups are about. And the decision to use masks as an additional layer of protection in the situations where the other control measures can be put in place is something that is being taken.
And all based on a lie.
Every other control measure will be evaluated to make sure that it is that children and students.
This live stream could have been done 12 days ago.
It does provide an added.
Remember, they go week by week. 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Children are not going to be wearing masks in other situations.
Anything over 7 days becomes a week.
About COVID in
this live stream could have been done 13 days ago.
Do you have a follow-up, Mike?
Right?
Well, I was just going to ask about ventilation.
And they're bringing in their own ventilations now.
Ventilation within
based on a lie.
At older schools.
What are they going to be putting through the vents?
Not aware if that's a particular.
Or you're spraying shit.
Intervention
with their nanoparticles.
Certainly something that we can get back to you on.
Right.
I don't know if Minister Dix has anything further to add.
Right.
Just.
Do we get to go in there and test what they're spraying? With their ventilators?
A detailed press conference with some changes.
Or do we just have to let our kids go in there and breathe whatever's in the air?
What you're seeing are two things. One,
assuming that they're not wearing masks.
Together by people involved.
For 6 hours.
Sure that children and
being told don't move. Don't breathe. Don't cross the line.
Essential and important.
As they continue to do what?
People do have the chance.
As they continue to do what?
Children do have the opportunity to get back.
Fake live streams.
Extraordinary measures are taken, as you're aware.
Right.
Some $45 million in expenditures is being.
Okay, so we're on the last page up here, right? But we already established that they're lying. Okay, there it is right there. They needed a few minutes to bring it to the front. Now the live is supposedly over. So let's refresh the page.
Seems to be the suspect, and the suspect is now on the way to the hospital.
We'll go into here.
The condition of the suspect. There was nobody else injured. There was
it just kicked out. Do you see that, people?
And I just want to.
But if you notice, hold on. Look at the view count. Look at the view count, people. Look at the view count, people. Look at the view count, people. It's right here if you can't see it. It says right there. Right next to their bogus. They did it to themselves. It was a suicide. Oh, no. We've got 1,500 youth that killed themselves by accident.